What's going on, everybody? JTLive here, and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories, and it is the big one. Leeds absolutely annihilating Wayne Rooney's Birmingham. I said it before, the only successful thing I've seen this guy do as a manager was give us a guard of honour, and he should be giving us another one after that performance, mate. An absolute masterclass, and there are two specific players I want to get straight into the action on. You already know who they are. If you've been watching this channel for a decent while, you know who they are. First of them, it goes without saying, Senior Daddy tier subscription Firpo. What a player is Firpo reborn, man. I cannot believe the amount of slander I get for backing Firpo. The amount of slander he gets for things that aren't always his fault. Yes, sometimes he can be a little bit defensively liable. Sure. Okay, sometimes he's got Danny Rose tinted glasses while he's stroming around that pitch, and his positional awareness isn't the best. I know that as much as the next guy. But what he does going forward is simply sensational at times. And today he was on form, man. He was on form. He was bombing up and down that wing like nobody's business. Even deep into the second half, the guy never gave up. He always looked hungry. He looked eager to get himself a goal. And, well, he didn't get himself a goal, but he at least got himself a couple of assists, especially that third one for Somerville there. The lovely link-up play, 1-2, flicked in behind by Rutter into Firpo. The composure to slow it down there, because he's running down to the byline. He could rush, he could make any kind of panic decision, but he slows it down perfectly, waits for Somerville to drop back into the pocket, slides a beautifully weighted pass over to him. And it just shows the class of the guy. It shows the oozing, silky sauce that he possesses in his feet. And listen, I know, as I said, I know he has his frailties, but for me, he's got to be our first choice left back, especially after a performance like that. I know Sam Byram, you know, he's getting back in there. Sam Byram's been very good this year, and he may be a slightly more competent defender. But especially against sides like this, especially against some of the less imaginative sides and some more of the sides that sit back, I think he could be key. I'm telling you. I know we didn't do it this time, but there's a lot of sides in this league, especially some of the better ones, that just want to park the bus, hit Leeds on the counter-attack, nick a goal, and steal a 1-0, 2-1, 2-0 kind of job. If in that scenario, you have Firpo on one fullback, Jed Spence on the other. Oh, could you imagine the overlapping runs we're going to be getting down there? It's going to completely stretch the opposition defenders, because they're going to have so much more threat to deal with. If you have Rutter in that 10, yeah, in the middle, he's great at picking the ball up. He can pick it up from anywhere. Yeah, I want to get onto him in a second. But he can pick up the ball from anywhere. That's his beautiful ability. He wins it back. He gets given it by someone else, and he's very good at having a good radar and seeing what's around him. The second he picks that ball up, you know he's going to drive forward. And if you have two fullbacks hugging the touchline, absolutely bombing it down every time, all of a sudden it's very hard for opponents to set up everyone in the opposition box or put two banks of four, whatever they want to do, because one of them has to come over to track the fullback. And I think it could just completely unlock a different aspect of Leeds' game. Speaking of another aspect, well, before I speak of that, what do you guys think of that, though? Do you think I'm going a bit crazy, a bit OTT? Do you think Firpo played well? Do you think Firpo and Spence could work together? Or do you think one of either Gray or Byram has to be starting? I'm intrigued to hear what you guys have to say on that one. As for things that did work, one of the key things that worked, in my opinion, today was the thing I've been saying from about the fourth game this season. Believe me, I feel like a broken record the amount of times I'm saying it. I'm saying it on streams with Joe and other people. I'm saying it to you guys. You know, you guys know my thoughts on Joel Perreault, okay? Listen, I like the guy. I love him. He's scored quite a few goals. A lot of his goals are consolation goals, that must be said. And furthermore, listen, I just don't think he's a Farke striker. And it's not just me who said that. Daniel Farke has come out himself and said, listen, this guy cannot play number 9 for me because he doesn't press well enough. Well, guess what? I've been saying give Bamford a crack and put Rutter in the 10. Because the January transfer window, it's here now. It's here. We're in January. The winter transfer window is in full effect. And everyone's saying, listen, we need a number 10. We need a number 10. We need a creative player. We need a creator. I'm like, hello. I am the creator, yeah? We've got the best creator in the league in Jorginho Rutter. For me, he's the best number 10 in the league. And not just because of the creative play he does. Don't get me wrong, he has the best vision of anyone in the team. He can pick a 30-yard pass, he can pick a 3-yard pass, he can pick a 45-yard pass, chip through balls on the ground, straight passes, flat passes, Cruyff turns, any kind of ball you want. He can deliver it. The guy's like Amazon Prime. But also, when he's in that 10 role, when he doesn't have to be the furthest man forward, he doesn't have to be igniting the press, he doesn't have to have his back to goal. He can drop even deeper, help out Ampadu, Gray, Kamara, drop deeper, win the ball back deeper, because the thing he's great at tracking back, he's great at tracking runners, is Rutter. And when he does track them, he's not one of those guys, you see a lot of players, they use the effort and the work to get close to someone, and then they just kind of shoulder around them, they shimmy around them. It's like, why did you waste the energy to get close to him if you're not actually going to put a foot in it or try your best to win the ball? That's what he will always do. You will always see Rutter try his best to win the ball, and he's got good strength. He can hold it up, and he can pick the ball up from about 25 yards in our own half, and just one Cruyff turn, one spin, one flick of the, drop of the shoulder, and he is through. He's driving down, and Leeds are on a great counter-attack. So I think that position really unlocked him today. I really thought you saw the best of him in that position there. And as for what we need to make that work, you need a number 9. I know you've been waiting for it, Patrick Bamford. Patrick Bamford. I've got, again, untoward levels of stick from you, from other people, saying, listen, give the man a crack. When has he been given a shot up front? When has he been given a shot starting number 9? I told it from day one. You put Bamford in the 9, you put Rutter in the 10, and it's a different ball game. It's a completely different ball game. It's leaps and bounds of a different ball game. Because as I said, you can get the best out of Rutter because he can drop deeper or whatever. And then he also has a player in front of him making forward runs that he can play to. All of a sudden, it's not just either Dan James or Somerville that he can play the through ball to. You've got Bamford breaking the line every single time, making diagonal runs, making beautiful runs in behind, dragging defenders out of position. It gives so much more freedom to our other attacking free players in Rutter, Somerville and James. And you saw that today. James was having a field day out there. Somerville had a field day out there. It allows Firpo to come into the fold more. It allows Archie Gray to come into the fold more. Having a natural number 9 in there, in Patrick Bamford, listen, sometimes you may knock his goal-scoring ability. He misses a few big chances. Sure, granted, especially in the Premier League, he was one of the main reasons we got relegated, unfortunately, because of the big chances that he had missed, especially that Leicester game. But he does just offer something that no one else does, and the team just flows better with Patrick Bamford in there, and you saw it. Finally, we had someone who could actually properly press. Like, I know it's been a long time. I know Rutter can press, but there's a difference between being able to press and being able to press. And Patrick Bamford is someone who can press, all right? He can put the pressure on you, win the ball back, 8 times out of 10. Like, it's one of the first times in ages I've seen us have a striker who can actually press, win the ball back, hold it off, win a free kick, draw a foul, get us on the front foot. And I think it was just beautiful. I think it was beautiful to see that, and it just really worked today. I think it really flowed. I think the team selection was great. I liked the changes that he made, and I don't really have a single complaint about this game, Well, in fact, the only complaint I could have is we could have scored more. We could have scored more than 3. We could have scored a lot more than 3. But otherwise, I can't really have any complaints about this game. I was thoroughly impressed with a lot of aspects of it. I loved Bamford. I loved Firpo. I loved Rutter. And I thought Dan James was phenomenal as well. I thought Somerville scored a beautiful goal and had a very good game as well. I find it struggle to complain. Maybe defensively, a couple of mishaps here and there. Roden did step in a couple of times to make some big, some big changes back there. But otherwise, no. I thought it was a phenomenal game. I liked Klassen as well. I thought he was pretty decent. And yeah, I don't really have too many complaints for the first time in a while. So it feels good. It feels great. How do you guys feel, though? Let me know how you guys are down in the comment section down below. What do you guys thought on that game? But for now, guys, I will see you very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.